Hi, my name is Igor Bobok. I'm the software architect for BTemples. On this video, I'm going to present you the business analysis tool. This is a business intelligence system that our company produces. We help customers solve a typical problem. When you have a huge amount of data on your database, it can be sales, orders, shipments, transactions, whatever, you will face with the problem of data analysis. So the question is how to analyze a big amount of data in order to visualize this data and in order to build reports and make business decisions. So this problem is efficiently solved with our software. Our software looks like this. There are several tiers. On the client tier, we have a report module, which is used by business users, and administrative module, which is used usually by IT staff. The report module is used for building reports and for data analysis, and administrative module is used by IT personnel in order to provide access rights, to create templates, to monitor for the system. Those modules are communicating with the application server through HTTP protocol, so the software can be used both remotely and locally. And the application server is communicating with the analysis services. Both versions, multidimensional and tabular, are supported. Talking about the analysis services is outside of the scope of this presentation, so let us start looking at the report module in practice. It looks as following. So we have a set of reports which are available for the current user. And when user is opening a report, he may see several pages. For example, on this page I see statistics, statistical measures like amount, weight, maximum and minimum price of the product categories. On the second page I can see the sales of categories split by month and visualization of the same data on the chart, etc, etc. So I can see many ways of displaying the same kind of information. These pages are created by administrator. We can note this by this red person. It's an icon which means that the page was created by administrator, and user can create any view of the data on his own by just pressing plus and selecting the proper view. For example, let's create a table chart page and let's build our own report. On this report, I'm dropping a date dimension on columns, a products dimension on rows, amount in measures, and in such a quick way I have built the simplest pivot table which I can expand in more details by pressing plus or minus here, or by pressing the plus minus icons just in the table. I can add some highlight. For example, I'm currently highlighting the values of sales with different colors depending on the sales amount. I can add more measures. For example, if I add the percentage of outlets that ordered the product, I can add one more kind of highlight. For example, if this percentage is greater than 30%, please paint it with orange. So even if I have a huge table, I can read it quite easily because of these kinds of highlight. The system allows to make not just tabular kind of reports, it can allow us to make charts as well. So charts are just another kind of a table if it can be expressed like that. For example, if you look at the table, we can easily convert it to a chart, and chart can have different kind of displaying. Currently is displayed by spline because it has noticed that time dimension is present somewhere on rows and columns, but we can easily change it in another ways of visualization. For example, this stacked bar is displaying the total value, so we can see the general trend, and together with the general trend we see how much each of the product category, what part of the whole sales it gives us. And the chart is also dynamic, same stable. So if we are in a table and if we see some value, for example here we see 5.9 million of sales of this product category in Q2, we can click here and drill by distributors to see that value. In the same way, we can do similar kind of analysis just in the chart. So clicking and making more details by drilling by another dimension. So both table and chart are fully dynamic. You can click everywhere and select any kind of data drilling down or drilling by another dimension, or if you are looking at a value, we can drill through and see the data which is behind that cell. Later we can analyze it by dragging and dropping the fields here to make groups. So we can do whatever with this. And except tabular and charts, we have another kinds of data analysis. For example, if you create a tree map, we can analyze data in very interesting graphical format. For example, let's make analysis of distributors. Currently we see all of them in different size, but if you drop amount into size, we can see that this distributor has sold more than that one, and we see the following amount. And we can add one more criteria, for example, effectiveness of visits. If we put the middle for effectiveness to be 80%, it means that all of the distributors whose effectiveness was less than 80% will be painted red, and all of them whose effectiveness was more than 80% will be painted green. And the more the percentage is, the more saturated green color we will get. So in this case, we see that this distributor is performing quite fine, best of all, but his performance is very close to minimum. So let's split him by his teams. A supervisor is lead of a team for the trade agents. So now we can easily see that he has 3 teams and one of the teams is performing badly. So let's drill on another page by the merchandisers. As you may notice, that page remained and the new one is created. So we have detailized the supervisor 36 team by the trade agents, and we can see that all of them are performing not so well. But the question is, where are they selling their goods? So if we add the subtype of the outlet to here, and if we group by the subtypes, now we can see more details. For example, we see that in this channel of the shops, these 2 agents are selling quite well, but that one is selling badly. Well, he is selling for quite normal amount, but unfortunately his performance is bad. It means that when he visited 9.9 shops, 3 of them are not taking any orders from him, so he was visiting them in vain. So 1/3 of his visits are done in vain. So by seeing this, we can make a conclusion that we should work with this trade agent and find out what is the reason. Contrary to this picture, in another channel we can see that all the agents are performing badly. For example, if this is a kind of, if this is a supermarkets, it means that the goods which we are selling may simply stand badly on the shelves. That's why people are not buying them, and that's why the supermarkets are not making any orders from us. The reasons may be different. Unfortunately, I can't tell what the type of this channel is because the data is masked to prevent showing of the commercial interest publicly. You understand this? But currently this is not a problem. The goal of this presentation is to demonstrate you how easily you can get the data visualization and how easily you can see what the problem is. And if you convert this into a table and look this in a tabular format, and if we remove the highlights, and if you compare this to this, we can note that on a table the data is readable but not so well as here. So data visualization plays a great role in analysis. Let's look at one more kind of analysis, which is called a scatter diagram. If we have a scatter diagram, we can put up to 4 measures and analyze the relationship between them. For example, if we have a product which is sold everywhere, and if we made an advertisement of this product and want to see how the sales performance is good or bad, we simply drop it to report, select the proper product, and let's compare our distributors, how they perform with sales. We'll compare two things. We'll compare the amount of sales and in money, and we'll compare the percentage of outlets which ordered that product. To make it look better, we'll drop the distributors into color, and now we see that, for example, this distributor has sold it a little bit more than 500,000, but just 86% of the shops are buying this product. But this distributor has worse performance because 71% of his shops has buying this product from him, although he makes bigger sales. We can also drop a third measure. For example, outlets which ordered product into size, so that we see the bigger size dependently on how big is the value of that measure. So if we see it here, we see that 907 shops has ordered this product from this distributor and just 457 shops from that distributor. So currently we are looking at 3 different measures. One measure is on x-axis, second measure is on y, and the third measure is responsible for size. And let's add some dynamics to this report. I am taking a month and dropping to time shelf. So if I press the button play, I can see the dynamics. I can see how sales, I'll slow down the speed. So I can see how sales was performing in time. And I can see the increase of sales of every distributor in November and decrease of sales in December. So if I stop playing, I see that this distributor in December 2007 has lost sales amount from 199,000 till 148,000. And this one has kept the amount but lost the amount of shops who has ordered this kind of product. I'm currently interested to dig into this distributor to see what's happening with him. Let's add more details. Here in details we have distributors. I am pressing plus and I am detailing them to the supervisors. So if I come back, I see that there are 2 supervisors which has lost the amount. And I can make more details by pressing plus and looking at the trade agents. So each circle is now a trade agent, and if I turn back and slowly see the moves, I can see that there are several people who are guilty with decrease of sales in December. So they are easily visible in this diagram because they are falling down most of all. If we want, we can look for the fourth measure here, for the fourth KPI. By the way, user can create his own measures just on the fly. For example, if you want to see how much the amount decreased in time, we press right mouse button on amount, create a new measure which will represent growth. Let it be as percentage change and press finish. And after that we put it in color instead of putting the distributor. And highlight will change a little bit. The highlight will make it as following. The center should be 0. It means that when the value is less than 0 it will be red, and when it's greater than 0 it will be green. So if you look at this diagram, we can even deselect the trade agents, and we can see what's happening. For example, if we move to next month, we see those who has lost most of all very easily using coloring. So in such a way we can analyze the data, you can compare 4 measures, and of course dynamic behavior is everywhere, so we can click on any item and drill by other dimension, or drill down or drill up, or hide this item, hide siblings, or drill through the data which is responsible for making this value. So we can do anything. There is one more way of data analysis, which is called a dashboard. A dashboard allows us to combine several sheets on one page. For example, on this dashboard we can see a chart together with the scatter diagram, which can be played dynamically. And user can add more components to this dashboard. For example, currently I am dropping a new page and I select an existing tree map to be displayed together with the scatter diagram. I can combine arbitrary number of elements on a dashboard, and they may have the same context. So the system has very powerful analytical capabilities which we cannot show during one presentation because there are a lot of them. Together with powerful data analysis features, the user can get his reports by schedule. For example, he can subscribe on receiving them on some days, at some hour. He can select which pages will be sent to him, and he can select the condition. It can be either unconditional or when some condition met. For example, we can set up to send a report in the case if we got any sales less than 10% in comparison to the previous week. Here we can create this condition. Currently we have just demonstrated the report module. We have demonstrated the analytical capabilities of the report module, and as you may have noticed, we didn't wait a second when a report was generated. So this is the speed with which a BI system should work. So when a user sets a request, the response should be received immediately without any delays. So user can dig into data, find out the peculiarities, find out the problem, and then he can make decision to solve that problem. Now let us look a little bit at the administrative module. The administrative module allows administrators or the analysts who are responsible for administrating of the system. It allows to make some things. For example, it allows to create report templates. This is the report folders, the reports, and the versions. The version control also is available. The administrator can set up who of the users or who of the roles can see what folder or what report. The administrator can control who can perform each action in the report module. There are different designer profiles. Designer profile is a set of actions, and the administrator creates those profiles and assigns them to the users. So when a user with a view-only profile entered the system, he will see just the data. You can even get off the features of drilling in and out, I mean these plus minus signs from him. So he'll be able just to view the data. So the administrator of the system decides who will be able to see the data and who will be able to analyze it by creating new pages, by adding filters, by performing searching, by performing sorting of the data, etc. Then administrator can set up access permissions on the data in the cubes. So you can make so that one user can see just his region or his district, and another user who is regional manager of another region will see just another region. And all of the users who are in the head office will see all the data in the cube. And another function of the administrative module is the controlling of who can see what piece of the data structure. If you have a cube with hundreds of measures, you can control who of the user can see what subset of the measure. So one of the users can see just amount, quantity, and prices, and nothing else. There is one more useful function of the administrative module. This is usage statistics. If we looked at details at the architecture of the system, it's visible that it has the repository database. All the information about what users did, both report module users and admin modules, all this information about usage statistics is stored in the repository. So you can see who of the users opened a report, from which IP address they accessed the data, how much megabytes they downloaded, how much cells they received, etc., etc. This is done with the help of the same cube, which is built on top of this database. So we have this cube, and you can attach this cube just in the administrative module. So let's show it. This is a report built on the statistical cube, and statistical cube shows us by users all the data refreshes, all the cells, all the megabytes. By the way, when the data is exchanged, when the client and server exchange the data, it exchanges it in compressed format. And the level is compression varies from 10 till 30 dependently on the report. In general, there is a compression ratio of 18. So this is achieved by the software, which by the application server and by the client side. Each part compresses data before pushing it to the other side. So such are the features of the administrative module. And of course, administrator can subscribe people on receiving reports by email in this way that when administrator subscribes users, those users cannot unsubscribe. This is done intentionally to make so that you are totally sure that all the people has received their reports on time when you know that they need those reports. Together with sending reports by mail, there is a functionality of sending local cubes by mail, etc., etc. So we can continue telling more about the products, but our presentation will be too long. So I propose to stop on this, and I propose you to contact us in the case if you want to see more functions. You may find our contacts at our website bitimpulse.com, and here you can also request a trial version so that we'll provide you the installation and you'll be able to install the BI system business analysis tool at your own site. Thank you very much for your attention.